November 12th, 1931, the most expensive seat in the house was $3. The cheapest was $1. Tonight, the golds are face valued at $110. The rumors are upwards of $2,500. But Toronto police here doing a great job of security, and I'm sure there are no scalpers outside. Tony Amonte, you think this isn't a big deal? One of the big gunners has cut his hair for tonight, and there's Alan McCauley, who'll take the warm-up. Can't play with a bad knee, but certainly wanted to be a part of this special evening. Well, it's a doubleheader Saturday. Believe it or not, there's another game after the closing gala ceremony, and that'll be the Bruins and the Canucks. And for a scene set, let's go to Scott Russell. Scott?
Hey, Ron, we're all thinking about you out here on the West Coast, back there in Toronto, and hope you have a great night. Lots at stake, as you say, for the Bruins and the Canucks. They're chasing playoff spots in both the East and the West. Joe Thornton's been hot for Boston. Marcus Naslund on fire for the Canucks. Now, Messier won't play tonight for the Vancouver Canucks. Neither will Ed Jovanovski, but the game is the thing, and this one's important. It gets underway as soon as all the festivities are done at MLG. Hope you have a great night.
And Scott, I know you're going to develop the theme of father and son. Being a Toronto boy, it's a big night for you in terms of your memories of Maple Leaf Gardens. There's no question the unbroken line of father and son is also represented on our telecasts whenever we teach about the game, either through the broadcasts or the coaching. And for more on that, here's Dick Irvin Jr.
I think my main memories and thoughts of Maple Leaf Gardens go way back, even to before I was born, you might say. My dad took over as coach of the Leafs a few games into their first season at the Gardens, and the first time they won a game in the building was the first night that he was behind the bench as the team's new coach. They won the Stanley Cup a few months later, just after I was born, and that was his first Stanley Cup in Toronto. I saw my first NHL game at the Gardens, the second game of the 1938 Stanley Cup final between the Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks. And I sat through my first season, if you will, of hockey, 1939-40. I was 8 years old, my dad's last year in Toronto. They let me go to the Saturday night games. I remember the thrill I had watching Syl Apps play. He was my hero, and also the thrill I had when, before the game, was sitting with my mother, I'd see Foster Hewitt walking around at the bottom of the garden on his way up to the gondola. Little did I know that someday I'd be going up in the same area to do the odd hockey broadcast. So, despite what some Toronto fans may feel, there's a bit of blue and white blood coursing through my veins because of all of that, and it still does.
And Dick, don't think I didn't feel the same way. First visit to the Montreal Forum in 1984 when I saw you over in the corner. Scott Oakes aboard this evening. I'm sure you'll hear from many of the Leaf alumni and the celebrities partaking in this celebration of closing night. But for the moment, Maple Leaf captain Mats Sundin joins Scott.
Mats, I suppose the best way for the players to give this building a proper send-off would be to win. Are you feeling pressure to do that tonight?
Well, I think we look in the standings, and there's a lot of distractions going around the game, but we have a big game for us. We have a chance to move into first in our division, and it's a big game for us, so we're doing everything we can to focus on the game and make sure we have a good game.
Is there any one thing the players have done in an attempt to focus only on the game and not get caught up in this atmosphere?
Not really. I mean, I think we're all professionals, and we all play games where there is going to be distractions, so I think we're all used to it, and we're making sure we're focused and ready to go for the game tonight.
All right, thank you, Mats. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Mats Sundin will be the last man to wear the C at Maple Leaf Gardens for the Leafs. Ron?
Some of the auction items available in the lower concourse, folks taking in the pictures and with them the memories. I know a few of the players. Bert Olmsted was ticked that he didn't have his expenses paid to be here and he wasn't guaranteed a great seat, but this night's genuinely about some joy, and none knows it better than young Brian Berard.
The Headliner, brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet, tried, tested, and true.
These seats are available only on the Chevy Venture. Each one weighs only 17 kilograms, while the rear bench seat in a Dodge Caravan weighs over 48 kilograms.
Well, come on, let's go.
So Venture makes it easier to make room for your cargo. Not to mention room for your friends. Now get 2.9% purchase financing on the 1999 Chevy Venture. Chevy Venture. Let's go.
Somebody here just said, where's the gondola? We have our version of it. Bob Cole and Harry Neal are sitting there. You'll hear from them in a few moments. Alan Abel has provided us with tonight's headliner and finds an unbroken line of support in Section 92.
Game day at Maple Leaf Gardens, a little before 5. One final hour to trim the ancient temples. Only the hired hands are here, the janitors and ushers.
3 aces.
Yeah, he won.
Uptown, the familiar pilgrimage begins. Joan O'Brien and Kay Macklin, two sisters who've hardly missed a game in 60 years. We're following the pathways of a city's heritage.
Are you going to go across the road?
Yes.
Oh, dear.
We always do.
I know we do, but
Okay, let's go.
we want to live to get our picture taken.
You didn't know we're famous.
Did you guys not make it on
We're
camera?
having our pictures taken, and we're going to be on TV.
Hockey lineup programs here, souvenir programs.
I don't know what this thing on me is for.
It's a microphone, Kay.
I'm not talking in it.
Well, you're supposed to talk to me. Here.
It's in my pocket.
Want that in a bag or do you want to wear it?
How are you tonight? Fine. How are you?
You on TV here?
Yeah.
There you go.
You too.
You got a warm heart.
The men on the ice last only a few instants, but in the stands, the rituals of game night at Maple Leaf Gardens have endured unaltered for 68 years. Now that too is ending after one last farewell from an audience that's never been just a crowd, but a family.
We're climbing up, all the way up to section 92 in the Grays, with a man everyone up here calls George the referee.
How do you feel about the Gardens closing down?
You know, if Bellard was alive today, they wouldn't move this Gardens. They wouldn't move it at all.
What do you do every night when there's a game here?
Well, I write down all the penalties here, and I warn the referees if there's a fight, just step back. Let them go to it. Let them fight it. You get 2 minutes for instigating, that means you started. 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, 5 minutes for fighting. And if you start gabbing at the referee, 10-minute misconduct.
Here we are.
Right.
Twice a week, Kay and Joan are George's neighbors. Their father would have left his season ticket to a son, but Frank Macklin had 8 daughters.
What attracted me to hockey? Just the excitement of it, I think. I just, it's so fast and it's fun, you know. It's really clever, really, when you think of what they do with that little wee piece of rubber.
I'm like a little kid when I come in here. It's the smell of the popcorn, the whole, the guy yelling out the programs, the whole, it's just an experience. I get excited. I can't, I watch the games on TV, and it's not even close to coming to the games.
The first couple of times here, you're a kid, you're all wide-eyed and pushing, looking all around and all the history and tradition and that, and, just spending some great time with your father and a lot of memories here.
Matthew Higgs has brought his father and mother to the Grays tonight for an unforgettable evening he'll never remember. He's 7 weeks old.
What does it mean when this building goes, when the Leafs leave here?
The end of an era. A little bit sad, but I guess you have to start again. Rebirth.
Why would it be sad? Isn't it progress?
It's progress, but I'm a history buff, The Gardens, as antiquated as it is still historical, and new progress is sometimes not all it's cracked up to be.
Structurally, I don't know why. I don't know why they're doing it, because it's got such a cool vibe. But I guess progress is good. Change is good. Hi.
Singer Kim Mitchell rocked this building on many a New Year's Eve. Yet once, he too was the young son of a hockey fan.
Are you still the boy in your father's knee anytime you come here?
Yeah. And then I got this guy now too. So yeah, I still feel that.
A family of families, These are the generations of Section 92. Shirley and Arnold Ford, subscribers for 40 years.
What's lost when this building goes dark?
I don't know, traditions like things in Toronto, I don't know, it's hard to say, hard to put it into words, but I know I'll miss it, but I know the big guys hate it because of the smallness, you know, the size of the seats and things like that. But, you know, it's a tradition. You hate to see anything that's traditional go.
She knows an awful lot.
Do you know each other?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
We hang together.
This night, the most enduring of all Toronto hockey traditions is upheld. Losing to Montreal. And soon, all the rituals must be re-scripted as the city comes to the bittersweet intersection of progress and history.
Next week, the citizens of Section 92 will find themselves scattered around the galleries at the Air Canada Centre. The neighborhood and the neighbors will change forever, but the passion of game night will never fade.
I'm Alan Abel at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Thank you, Alan. Maple Leaf Gardens, the first to have floodlights, the first to have goal lights, and the first to have patio lanterns, or at least the man who sang that song. 15,700 lucky ones here at the Gardens, and lots looking in. Wishing the Leafs and the Hawks good luck as we close out MLG.